So, JoJo Part 4, Episode 5 was probably the most interesting part of the series so far. I think the most important part, the most interesting part, was really finding out how much Dio is actually left in his world, how much his legacy still lives on, how much is actually impacting this world that everyone's living in, how much actually he's doing stuff by not being there, but still he's impacting this world. It's actually kind of interesting, I must say. I was actually kind of like, wow, like you're dead, but you're still living on in a way. You're still, legacy still lives on. You're still destroying people's lives by not being there. I was kind of like, that's pretty freaking interesting. Granted, we actually find out really who Keicho's dad is, because we actually kind of have this like kind of idea that Keicho has a dad, but we actually don't really know much about anything else. We don't really know anything about him. We only know he's there. We don't know much about him. So what happens is, at the end of the aftermath, basically Koichi's all like, look, you saved me, but I can't live on this world knowing that that bow and arrow is still there. And yeah, it can actually destroy people's lives. It can kill people, or it can make them become stand users out of a whim. I can't go on living like that. And then Josuke's all like, well, this guy's actually pretty brave. This guy's not as kind of like less brave as I imagined. He's actually pretty freaking brave. He's come out of his shell. He's actually become this stronger character. But me, I actually quite like Koichi in this episode. He actually kind of became this character who actually wants to do something about this world. He wants to save Morio in his own way. He wants to save Morio from the actual things that's going on in this world. He wants to save them. I actually quite like him, I must say. He's actually become this stronger character as a whole. So he's actually kind of researched into it. He became this stronger character, wanting to actually save what's going on here. And I've actually quite liked him. He even said to Josuke, like, you can stay here. I'll go off on my own. See if his dad's up there, and I'll take his dad's bow and arrow. But what happens is, Josuke's all like, well, I can't leave you down here, so I'm going to go up there with you. And then when they get up there, they kind of see the bow and arrow in this room. And then what happens is, they hear this rustling sound. It's kind of like, yeah, it's that. Like, we don't know what that is. But then Josuke's all like, okay, look, you kick down the door, and I'll run as fast as I can, get the bow and arrow and destroy it. And that's basically what they do. But someone actually grabs Koichi's leg. And then you actually find out, because Keicho's actually not dead. Keicho's actually not dead. He's still alive. When he walks in after what's happened, like he walks in after we've all seen what this like mutant actually is, and goes, that's my dad. Like, he needs this bow and arrow. We need to find someone who can save my dad. So you think to yourself, oh, so Keicho's true like intentions are to actually find a stand and actually save his dad. But no. What happens is he wants to find a stand worthy enough to, or find a stand entirely to actually kill his dad, because he actually can't die in a way. Like, in a sense, he's actually tried to do everything in his power to kill his dad. In a sense, he really can't die. He's kind of immortal. The blood, I guess, the like kind of flesh buds have made him immortal in a way that he actually can't die. I was kind of like, that's interesting. Through some backstory, we actually find out really what did happen with Keicho's dad and Okuyasu's dad as well. We actually find out what really did happen. Basically what happened was, he had his business that went bust. He was loads in debt, like with money. He was really, really bad in debt. His wife died from an illness, so he literally had no one else, so it was just him and his kids. And with being a load in debt, he actually kind of turned to abusing his children, kind of like took his like kind of anger out, then sold his soul to Dio, kind of put the flesh right inside his head, to actually get some money and this jewel. So money was just coming in randomly to get all these jewels and everything like that. So money was not a problem anymore. But then when Dio died, his flesh body inside his head went berserk, and he actually turned into this mutant. But he doesn't even know who his sons are. He doesn't even recognize them anymore. He doesn't even know who they are. I guess Keicho's all like, look, he's been up here for 11 years. He's been like this for 11 years. He doesn't know who we are. He can't even recognize our faces. But then later on to the episode, you actually find out, in a way, he still does. He still has his memories. He's this mutant. He's this person that can't recognize anyone else. But in a way, he still does. Because what happens is, we find out he's actually rustling through this box. This box is actually quite important to him. And when Keicho actually takes it away from him, he's been sitting there crying for days. So he goes, it's pissing me off because we take this thing away from him. He just cries there for days. He sits there and cries for days. I'm kind of like, what's going on here? And what happens is, I guess Josuke actually kind of catches him trying to like rustle with some papers. And what happens is he goes, no, I don't care what's going to happen right now. I've got to go and see what's going on with this. And so what happens is he actually punches the box with his stand, then repairs it, and actually repairs the picture inside. And you actually find out the picture inside is actually his family. So he does, in a way, remember his family. Yeah, like right now, right that second, like before, he doesn't actually know who they are. He can't recognize them, but that picture kind of makes him remember. So in a way, he's been repeating these actions for all this time just for him to remember who they were. It's kind of like, it's actually kind of sad. I actually started crying at that point, because he started crying when he saw that picture of himself and his family, like the way he was originally before he actually sold his soul to Dio. it kind of broke him. He kind of broke him. He realized who he was and who his family was, and it kind of literally did break him in a way. He kind of just started crying. I was like, that's really sad, because you see, it's one of those things that, yeah, he's a monster. He's not the way he used to be. He still remembers who his family is. He still remembers who they are. He doesn't actually give the hope up to who they are. Yeah, he can't recognize them at that second. Keiichi's like, he doesn't recognize us. But he still holds on to his memories. Yeah, he's not the person he used to be, but he still holds on to them. And it kind of makes me realize that you shouldn't kind of judge that person straight away, in the sense, yeah, he doesn't recognize you straight away, but maybe there's somewhere deep down he actually does. He still remembers who you are. I thought that's actually kind of interesting. It kind of shows you that even people that have become like this might even still have their memories intact from before. It was actually kind of sad. I must say, I started crying, and then basically Josuke says, look, I'll help you to find someone that actually can save your dad, or bring him back to a normal state, or just do something for your dad. And he's like, okay. But then what happens is, he's like, give me the bow and arrows, I can destroy it, so we end all of this that's happening, and like, we can end what's going on here. And then he's all like, no, I don't want to do that. And then basically Okuyasu walks in and goes, brother, let's end this now. And then he's like, the way he acts towards Okuyasu really pissed me off. He goes, I denounce you as my brother now. He's like, I can't feel any remorse for killing you because you're not even my brother. I was like, Jesus freaking Christ on a bicycle. I was like, douchebag. I was like, really? I was like, that's horrible. You just completely denounced your brother. Like, and then even when he's getting taken away by Chili Peppers, or Red Hot Chili Peppers in this case, because the actual stand's called Red Hot Chili Peppers. Funny enough, I must say, I was actually kind of surprised. I was like, huh. And he gets taken away, goes, you always held me back. I was like, holy freaking Christ. I was like, really? Even at your dying state, you're still like this, Keiichi. Really? Douchebag. What happens is, I guess when they're having that spat together, actually Red Hot Chili Peppers walks in, like, or actually his electricity stand, so he actually, his power is electricity. So what happens is he actually goes through the outlets and actually goes into that room and basically stabs Keiichi in the chest, and basically takes Keiichi and the bow and arrow with him. And then Keiichi is basically dead. He's fried. The next scene when they got on top of the roof, he's fried. He's gone. He's completely dead. Like, he's non-existent anymore. Like, he's literally gone. And at that point, I guess Okuyasu's all like, well, still got to hold on to that legacy. Like, he even kind of said at that point, he goes, you saw it, didn't you, Josuke? He was protecting me. He was a complete arsehole, but he still protected me. He still wanted to protect me. Even in his last seconds, he protected me. You saw it as well. So you kind of see in an aerial way that maybe there's like two sides to Keiichi as well. Keiichi is kind of this arsehole, but in a way he actually saved Okuyasu's life to actually live on that legacy, in a sense, basically to save his dad. Like, in a sense, we kind of learn that he actually does want to save his dad, but granted, maybe his kind of morals and the way he goes about everything isn't too great. He doesn't actually go about it in a way that should be like kind of the right way. He did kill a lot of people, like, in a sense he could never go back to an ordinary life, because Okuyasu explains, like, look, even if we save our dad and go back to a normal life, he can't live a normal life. He literally can't. He's done too many things. He's killed too many people to actually find this stand that actually can save our dad. He's killed too many people. He can't live a normal life. So this is what's his fate. This fate that he's got right now was his fate. That's kind of like, it's true. He can't go back to a normal life. Literally, he couldn't. He's stuck there the way he is. And then I guess later on I actually find out Okuyasu and Josuke kind of make friends as well. So they're actually now friends. And Okuyasu kind of barges into his house, goes, and actually sees his mum and goes, your mum's pretty hot, isn't she? I was kind of like, see, I like Okuyasu's character. Okuyasu's character is freaking amazing. I love him. He's only becoming slowly stronger. Yeah, he's a bit dense here and there, but he's slowly becoming strong as a character. And I actually kind of like him. Granted, hopefully later on in the series, we actually kind of get this idea that he actually might come stronger, because now he's living with his dad, so I'm guessing he's carrying legacy that Keiichi started, in a sense, basically to save his dad, or bring him back to a normal state, to save him from the way that he is at the moment. So yeah, I like the last scene with Jotaro and Red Hot Chili Peppers, or the actual user himself. The fact that actually he broke the phone, and then Jotaro just sits down with his cup of coffee and goes, yada yada does it. I was like, that is the greatest reaction to a scene ever. Just when he just sits down and just drinks the coffee, like as if nothing happened. I was like, Jotaro, mate, you're freaking damn amazing. But overall, what's gonna happen now? We got the idea that actually Red Hot Chili Peppers stand user actually has the bow and arrow. So I'm not too sure if or not he's gonna carry on doing what I guess Keiichi has started, in a sense, basically just completely just ruining people's lives, and literally going through the town and just stabbing people with a bow and arrow. We're not too sure, so hopefully we might actually get some more knowledge later on. Granted, the next episode actually focuses on Koichi, so not too sure what's happened next, but either way, I'm freaking damn interested, because what it started so far, holy freaking Christ, this anime is so freaking amazing. I must say, part 4 has been, I must say, like, a little bit going above part 3, I must say. I actually freaking love it. It's great. The characters themselves are great. Jotaro's continuation is so freaking amazing. In fact, actually now Red Hot Chili Peppers is all like, well, I won't give you any grief if Josuke doesn't do anything. So I'm not too sure what's going to happen next. But either way, I'm freaking interested. So, with all that said, I have been the driver. If you leave a like, do leave a like. It does help me quite a bit. You leave a sub. Do leave a sub. It's helped quite a bit. But with all that said, I have been the driver. And I will see you guys later. Bye for now.